I cast this on at the start of January. I haven't made much progress because obviously there are lots of gift knits to work on at the moment. And obviously I don't need it right now because it is still wet and cold and miserable and disgusting, and I haven't seen the sun in a really long time, and it's really, really annoying. I am coming to you on a very wet February afternoon. I decided to do my makeup today, and I wanted something very gloomy, very lacking hope, very almost dead, but not quite yet. I am wearing a piece that I made. Let me show the class. I believe this is the second thing that I ever crocheted. It is just a very simple raglan construction made with double crochets. I got the yarn at Hobbycraft. I'm not entirely sure what it's called, but it's one owned by Hobbycraft. I see it in stores quite a lot still. It's 100% acrylic, but it has worn out quite well over the years. It's one of my favorite things to wear in the autumn and winter. Yeah, thought I'd just bring you down a little bit. And yeah, I have some things that I have finished, some things that I am working on, things that have brought me joy and hope, and things that I cannot wait to finish because they're annoying me. And yeah, it has snowed twice since I last made an update on what I've been knitting and crocheting and occasionally sewing, which, yeah, also had a small flurry this week. I'm filming on a Sunday. Had a small flurry earlier this week on Tuesday night. It didn't stick, and it wasn't very heavy either. Very light flurry. But without further ado, I shall get into it. So I finished my everyday loop blouse. It has been blocked, and although the sleeves lengthened out quite well, the body did not lengthen, it just got wider, and the collar also got wider, which I feel like is my fault because I was not paying attention when I cast on, and I didn't do the recommended collar, and I thought I would just wing it. But when I first tried it on, there's a picture on my Instagram when I first tried it on, and it was kind of like a very loose crew neck. And when it blocked out, it came to about here. So it is wider than this jumper that I'm wearing, which is probably the widest neck that I would ever go for. So I do need to, it is finished, and I don't need it just yet because it is cold and wet, and this is 100% cotton. So this is something for that in-between weather where it's warming up, it's not raining, but you still need like a jacket or something. You still need a long sleeve on. A light long sleeve, but a long sleeve nonetheless. And I've probably got about a month and a half before that type of weather comes back around, as it is every year. So yeah, it is technically finished. I am just not satisfied with how it blocked out. But I do enjoy it. I enjoyed making this design at the front where the ribbing comes down to the front. I think was really cool. I am not satisfied with how I made it. I made it with drops. What is it called? I can't remember, but it's drops, Aran weight, and 100% cotton. So you may be able to find it based on that description. And I'm not entirely satisfied with it being 100% cotton. I thought that I wanted it to be 100% cotton and it would have a similar drape to the original. The original recommended yarn was cashmere and something else held together. And the brand specifically was out of my budget when I was looking at making this. I did say that this year I wanted to make some things in cashmere, and perhaps remaking this in cashmere is something that I will do. But nonetheless, I will go back over the collar. I will just pick it up, knit the ribbing to where I want it, and then do, I think, a stockinette roll. It's like a rolled collar, like a small, yeah, it's very fashionable right now. And then I'll probably steam block it. I wet blocked this, which is probably where I may have gone wrong. I don't know. I'm used to knitting in wool, and I think this is my first piece, first piece that I've knitted in 100% cotton. So lesson learned. Possibly be better to do it with steam blocking instead of wet blocking. But regardless, it is something that I did enjoy making. I will make another one. I think the pattern was very straightforward. I would recommend. I am looking at some of the other patterns from the same designer, maybe for this year, maybe for next year, but we will see. And I will be making possibly 2 more of these. One in maybe a charcoal grey with a different yarn fiber, and then possibly another one in black, most likely with the recommended yarn, just because, and also just making the adjustments that I feel that I need to based on my body. I think I would prefer it to be longer as well. And yeah, that's the first piece, and I generally enjoyed it. Excuse me, I have a squeaky chair. It is not mine, but I can't do anything about it. The next thing that I wish to talk about is my striped overload polo by Spektakelstrik. I can't remember where I was in the last episode where I talked about this, but I have since finished. This is for my birthday. This is for my birthday, which I spoke about in the last episode of having a birthday outfit. And I finished this. So let me put you back on. So this is her. There are some mistakes, most notably in the body. There is a 3-row stripe where there should be a 2-row stripe. It doesn't exactly bother me, but yeah, it might have bothered some people. I generally couldn't really care. I still need to weave in the ends, but overall the lighting is really bad. I apologize. I can't do anything about it, really. So yeah, ends need weaving in. I rushed one of the cuffs because my birthday is next week and I really want to wear this for my birthday. And I just got really impatient and I thought I wouldn't finish it in time. I did, in fact, finish it a week and a half early. But the cuff for one of the sleeves is not as long as it could be, and it's quite messy in comparison to the first one that I did. So I'll possibly wear this for my birthday, and then afterwards, I'll probably go back in and redo the second cuff that I didn't really do very well, which is entirely my own fault because I was just really impatient and I wanted to get it done as soon as possible, and it is literally just the cuff. But besides from that, yeah, I really want to make another one of these. I finished this off and then immediately went online to look at yarn to buy to make a wool version of this. This is 100% cotton. It is Hobie's Friends Cotton 86. I kind of enjoyed knitting with the cotton. I enjoyed the colors. I think the most pistachio and black is the colorways for this. And I personally really like it. I really like knitting stripes. I didn't realize how much stripes are lacking from my wardrobe. But it's fine. I'm going to amend that this year by knitting a lot of stripes. In my favorite colors: green, red, black, maroon. Yeah, lots of earthy tones and vampire adjacent tones, I guess. Um, so yeah, I'm really, really pleased with this. The pattern was generally straightforward. I think it was literally just me not paying attention because I did knit this at 1 a.m. on several occasions. Do not recommend knitting at 1 a.m. On anything really that's just not basic stockinette. But I needed to do it because I couldn't sleep, and I don't like going on my phone. I don't like going on my phone around bedtime or in bed in general. It's not exactly banned, but it is avoided. So I will either read, journal, knit, crochet if I cannot sleep. Because like the screen keeps me awake. Anyway, I know I'm like a really weird Gen Z, but and yeah, that's why I decided to pick up that night. That's why there are a few errors, but I generally don't mind because I also know that I'm going to knit several of these polos and cardigans. So yeah, and it also gives it a bit of character as well. But that is my second finished object since I last spoke to you. And then the next finished object I have is my elevator cat hat, or the devil hat, which was a dopamine cast on. I really like this. It has been blocked. It has been washed and blocked. I used Drops Air in black for this, and I just love it. I think it suits. I feel like it suits me, and it functions exactly as I wanted it to function. I obviously have stretched earlobes, and in the winter, I don't like wearing wooden earplugs, which I generally recommended for colder weather because wood is a bad conductor of heat, which means it will not make your ears cold, whereas steel and glass and stone will generally make your ears colder with the colder temperatures. I just don't like wooden earplugs. And I also will sometimes misplace my headphones. So I just wanted a bonnet that I could wear that covers my ears and is quite warm and generally water repellent. And yeah, I'm not ecstatic about the size of it. I wish that it were slightly more oversized and take up a bit more space on my head. Because I have a like a large forehead and my hair is not that long right now. Um, but yeah, I will make another one of these. I will make several of these actually. And I will just mess around with the sizing and just use the pattern that I bought as a guide. Um, but yeah, I really like this. Um, and I'm really pleased with this hat. I've been just for the past like 4 years, I've just been rocking mostly with this trans flag beanie that I crocheted, and it's made out of 100% acrylic. Oh, what is that? There's fluff. Yeah, it's made out of 100% acrylic, and it doesn't really do the job very well. Like it, acrylic isn't very good for the type of weather that we get in England. It's wet as well as cold, and if I don't have an umbrella or like a coat with a hood that I put on over the top, like a waterproof hood, um, it just tends to get damp and yeah, it doesn't really trap heat in very well. Um, and yeah, I've just been rocking it with it for the past 4 years, and I just it needs to be replaced. I need to have several in rotation rather because I don't own a lot of colorful things. And so sometimes this clashes a lot with what I'm wearing, which is dark vampire adjacent and earthy tones, dark earthy tones. So this doesn't really go with a great deal of my winter outfits, really. Um, so yeah, I just needed something to get me going on making hats for myself, and I want more novelty hats. Like that's a novelty hat. I want a novelty cat hat with cat ears on it. I really want like the. I suppose it could be a crocheted beanie, but it could also be a knitted beanie with cat ears on it. Um, stripy, a stripy beanie, either crocheted or knitted, with more cat ears on it that's slightly more oversized and slouchy. They were very popular in the 2010s, like emo, grunge 2010s, because I am feeling very nostalgic for the 2010s. But yeah, I liked it. I think it's slightly on the smaller side. I may or may not. I don't think I got gauge, but I definitely used um, Aran weight yarn, and the pattern calls for Aran weight yarn. So I thought I would be safe. Um, but yeah, I'll make another one of these. And generally, I like it. I wore it a few days ago on the train, and I got a lot of weird looks, but I didn't mind because I felt so confident and so like whimsical. Felt very whimsy. Um, yeah. So the next thing that I have is behind me. Oh my goodness. The next thing that I have is a pair of gloves for my niece. My niece is 10 years old. She has slightly large child size hands, and I have small adult size hands. So my hands are fully developed, but they're just small. Her hands are still developing. All that is that to say why I have um, shaped this glove in a very weird way. So I've got the cuff, I've got the main body, like the hand, and then I did decreases, and then I've got this weird tunnel thing at the top for her fingers. Um, because her hands are smaller than mine, but they're also like the same size as mine, but child version. Whereas I have adult hands, but they're small. I don't know if this is making any sense. but that was my thought process in how I freestyled um, this glove. So I've got one done. I just need to do the thumb, and then I am ready to split for the thumb on this one, and then I'm just going to knit, do the decreases on the weird funnel. And then I'm going to do the thumbs together because I know I remember how I did the decreases and the little tube thingy. But I know I will forget how I do the thumb because I don't have a recipe for the thumb yet. Um, but yeah, and I kind of just designed it so that she's got space and I can like unravel it when as she gets older. And yeah, basically like okay. Yeah. The next thing that I have crocheted, no, sorry. The next thing that I am working on is a pair of socks for my eldest nephew, who, for some unknown reason, is 6 feet tall. How? I don't know. And why? I also don't know. Because there aren't a lot of tall people in my family. Most are average, slightly below average, and very much below average. I myself am 5 feet and 1 inch, roughly. I can just about claim that I'm 1 inch above 5 feet tall. Yeah, he has a UK size 11 foot, which is a lot bigger than mine. I am a size 5. Um, so yeah, he asked me for a pair of socks probably October. Last October, we are now in February. I did a Turkish cast on. So I went over to my sister's house and um, sorry, let me restart that. I did a Turkish cast on and then I went over to my sister's house and I did the increases to fit his toe. I did 72 stitches. Yeah, I started with 20 stitches as a Turkish cast on and then I increased up to 72 stitches because he has ridiculously large foot. The audacity of some people, honestly. But yeah, it is just a very plain black sock with Hobie's Friends sock yarn. I'm not a huge fan of how it feels, really, but it's fine. It's not for me, it's for him. And I don't think he's entirely too bothered. But these are just for about the house. At least that's what he intends it to be. Um, I personally make my socks to wear every single day, um, rather than just lounging about in the house. But to each their own. Um, and yeah, this is just sock number 1. I think I'm probably about an hour away from doing the heel. I will do Cat's Sweet Tomato heel, which I do with every vanilla sock. Yeah, it's quite easy. I like it. Um, what else? Yeah, that's it really. I'm probably just going to do a short cuff. I'll probably put in a lifesaver, probably just before I do the heel. Um, I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, let me start again. I will probably put in a lifesaver that's like just a scrappy yarn around, going around one round, probably a few rows before I start the heel, just in case when I go to check up on him to see if it fits, that it does actually fit. And if it doesn't fit, then I can just rip back to um, where I've put in the scrap yarn and I don't have to like fiddle around. Um, yeah, and like just figure out if everything's is on the same round or like losing stitches. Also, it's black as well. And I know I'll mess it up because the lighting in my room is not that great. Anyway, that was a bit of a ramble. All that to say that I am slowly working on this. Socks generally don't take me very long. However, I've had to cast on my niece's yellow gloves, and she's very impatient. Had I not cast on her gloves, I would have finished the first sock by now. Um, Also, I had to work on the striped overload polo and also a dopamine cast on with the elevated cat hat for myself. Um, but yeah, not a lot of progress. It's just a basic toe up vanilla sock, Turkish cast on, going to do cat's sweet tomato heel, and then a short cuff. Yeah, that's it really. Not particularly exciting. And then my next whip, I'm going to put you on. Ooh. You're on the moth. Okay. So the next whip that I have is a pair of trousers, which I did say that I was going to cast on. Oops, sorry. I did say that I was going to cast this on in the last episode that I did. These are my disco trousers by Le Poule. I messed up. I have a lot of mixed feelings about this so far. I know that I will like the end result, but what I have currently um, is not entirely pleasing to me. What does please me is that I'm knitting a pair of cotton black trousers for the spring and summer. I really struggle in spring and summer because it starts to warm up. That's generally when a lot of fast fashion places will start doing like their florals and their pastels, and like bright colors. And I don't wear bright colors. Okay, I do not wear bright colors. I like dark tones all year round, and I've struggled for so long to find the right pieces for spring and summer. Um, and I just thought, you know what? I'm going to make my own spring and summer wardrobe entirely made from dark earthy tones, vampire tones, and black lace. Okay? I will be living my goth summer dreams, my emo punk goth summer dreams for as long as I can knit and crochet and sew. Oh, my hair. I'm gonna come back. So, these are the disco trousers by Le Poule. They are a drop stitch pattern. So I cast on as instructed. However, I'm not satisfied with this part. So you can kind of see that it bunches up at the waist. And I'm not satisfied with that. I have a very small waist because I'm very petite. And I think, and I just didn't want to play around with the pattern too much because this is my first time making them. I will be making several pairs of these because I like how it looks. So I think probably for the next pair of trousers that I will mess around with the pattern a lot more, including how many stitches I cast on the waistband, just because I don't like how it bunches up, really. There's no shaping for the bum, because it's like a high-waisted trouser, so there's kind of no need, really, and it's like a flowy, drapey item. So yeah. So I cast these on in December. I have not worked on them a great deal because I've had to do my niece's leg warmers, my friend's green gloves, which I finished. Oh my goodness, I need to talk about that. my sister's scarf, which I also need to talk about, and then um, more gloves, my birthday jumper. I wanted to finish my everyday loop blouse before New Year's New Year's Day. Um, so I just wanted to have this cast on because once it is cast on, it will annoy me until it is finished, basically. Um, it is kind of annoying me. I do really want to work on this, but other things are a priority, and generally this is I'm not going to get anywhere out of it anytime soon because I've still got about 2 more months until I can wear these, so it's fine. Um, it's like a background project. Um, Gloves, other finished objects that I forgot to talk about. I finished my sister's scarf in time for her birthday. Her birthday is the end of January, and I finished it about a week before her birthday. It blocked out really well. It turned out to be about 10 feet long. It was just a very basic twisted rib stitch with drops in a pool in grey or charcoal. It's grey anyway. It's a very dark grey, and I cast on about 72 stitches. Did twisted rib um, all the way across. It was really long. She likes it. I softened it with some eucalan. And yeah. And then my other sister saw what I had done and was like, I need another one. I need another scarf. Preferably that scarf in cream. But that is for next winter. I won't get around to it this winter. Or by the time I've finished all these other things, um, it won't, it'll be spring. So, but anyway, I need to buy the yarn for my other sisters just so it is like in my stash. Um, because I tend to buy things that I'm going to knit up um, relatively soon. And if it's in my stash, it will bother me because everything has a project. Every yarn has a project. Um, and if I don't buy it, I will forget about it. But the yarn that I have that is in my underneath that the yarn that I have that is underneath my bed, I don't forget about. I see it. I know I need to make it. It's just a matter of timing. That was long-winded. Wow. Um, what else do I have? Oh, my bolero. So this is also for the spring. I decided to just like skip winter, evidently, and just focus on spring wear and summer wear, which I kind of regret right now because I would really like to knit something in wool. It is still quite cold. Um, so this is just a free-handed raglan construction made from 100% cotton. Ooh, it is Anna and Clara. I got this from Sosten Gren. But yeah, I just got 3 balls of this, specifically to make a cotton bolero. I bought this yarn back in November because I really want one. I want my darkly inclined wardrobe. Um, so I've just done a collar. I've done the ribbing for the collar. I will possibly do a folded collar, just so in the blocking process I don't repeat what happened with the everyday loop blouse. Um, I decided that I'm going to sew it on rather than do like a proper folded rib, like a knitted folded rib, purely because with the waistband on the disco trousers, I kind of messed up the like fold. I feel like partly because it is black and it's kind of hard to see. So I just knitted it and then I'm just going to sew it down. Um, and then I did some German short rows for the back, and then I split for uh, the raglan, and that's just what I'm working on now. I cast this on the start of January. I haven't made much progress because obviously there are lots of gift knits to work on at the moment. And obviously, I don't need it right now because it is still wet and cold and miserable and disgusting. And I haven't seen the sun in a really long time. And it's really, really annoying. It's fine. It's fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. So that's it. There's not a great deal to show. It will just be like from the collar down to about here. Do a bit of ribbing and then do the sleeves, just like a very uh, simple cropped raglan construction for the days where it's warm. It's too warm to wear the everyday loop blouse, which is a heavy Aran cotton, but not warm enough yet to just have a tank top. There are a lot of layers with like English weather. Like it takes time to get to the hot weather. Like heat wave weather. There's steps. This is just like a DK weight. That is Aran weight. They are both 100% cotton, but they are for different weathers, I guess. Different types of weather. I don't really know. English weather is weird. This is just me rambling and complaining about British weather. You would think that I'm used to it after living here my entire life, but no. Anyway, I'm going to stop lamenting. Is there anything else I wish to talk about? Oh yes, it's hiding. Ooh. Oh dear, I'm tangled up. I recently cast on, I say recently, I do actually mean a few days ago, I cast on the Traveler's Cardigan by Ozetta. I wanted to make this. That noise is annoying. I wanted to make this for my birthday and have it as part of something that I wear around my birthday. I'm taking 3 days off, the day before, the day of, and the day after, to cry my eyes out. Yeah, I'm taking 3 days off. So I wanted to wear multiple things that bring me joy and happiness and express my creativity in all those lovely, dark, whimsical ways. But I got swamped with gift knits that kind of need to be finished before the lovely British weather ends and spring comes once again. Just so that they could get some wear out of it, because I know with me, there isn't really a timeline. There isn't really a deadline, rather, I should say, because I know that I will definitely get wear out of all my things. What I wear and what I buy, I tend to make sure that I will wear it for at least 5 years before I get rid of it. Or some things I will probably just wear for life. I'm keeping this jumper. I don't think I will ever get rid of this jumper. It is 100% acrylic. I'm not a huge fan of synthetic materials. However, I love this colorway. I will be wearing this when I'm still in my 60s and hopefully in my 70s if I'm still around. Um, but yeah, all that to say, other people, I don't know if other people have the same approach clothing in their wardrobe with the same intentionality as I do, where I actively think before I purchase something, or I knit, or I crochet something, or I sew something. Is this going to last me for at least 5 years before I get tired of it? If the answer is no, then I don't make it, or I postpone it until I'm ready to buy or make it. Um, Whereas other people, I'm not entirely sure. Also, I've been knitting for a while. I've got, um, although some of my earlier knits and my crochets are acrylic, um, I've they've what wording? Although a lot of my earlier knits and crocheted items for the winter, like um, my trans beanie, and I've got a pair of acrylic hand warmers. Um, they are acrylic, they're synthetic, they are not the best for wet British weather, as I found out over the years. They have still lasted a very long time, and I can still use them for the rest of this winter period. I am obviously with my elevated cat hat in the process of making more things to have in rotation, so I'm not just wearing the same things all the time, because it has been about 4 years now of just wearing the same winter items. Um, so yeah, I'm ready to start upgrading. I'm still keeping the acrylic things. I'm just putting them as like backups for when my wool items are in the wash, basically, when they're drying, that type of thing. Um, where was I going at that point? I don't know. I don't really know. Anyway, this is my traveler's cardigan. This is what I've started to do. I realized I kind of messed up. So I've obviously been knitting with a lot of black, and I realized I need like a lifesaver to help me see where stitches are, particularly if I'm working on it in the evenings, which I tend to do. So I did a provisional cast on with this pink Aran weight acrylic yarn, which I just got from a previous project. But the pattern calls for a long tail cast on. I don't like long tail cast on anyway, so I would have chosen a different. I think, yeah, even if this wasn't in black, maybe like a lighter color that I could see a bit clearly, I still probably would have done a provisional cast on. Anyway, um, yeah, kind of messed up with the provisional cast on, but I'm not like I managed. I feel like I saved it. This is the back. So I've done the German short rows. I finished them now. I was working on this. Oh my god, my eyeball. My eyeball. I don't know what was in my eye. Oh my goodness. So I finished off my German short rows yesterday. I went to a queer social, which is absolutely lovely. Had an amazing time meeting new people. But I had too much caffeine, and so I needed to do something with that energy. I luckily had put this in my pocket because it's quite small, just bunched up, and I was working on it while other people were chatting away. So this is the back, and then you pick up for the each front, like the left front and the right front, and then you join it in the round. I chose this pattern because the button bands are knit into the cardigan, and I really liked that. I know Loopy Studios also does that in the free pattern that she has of her cardigan. I also have that pattern and have the yarn for um, I have the yarn for it. I'm just putting it off. It's like a scrap acrylic yarn I've got, so I'm not excited for it, but I do still want to make it. But yeah, anyway, so instead I chose this cardigan. It's with drops air, so it's the same as the elevated cat hat. And I just, in general, I need like a wool cardigan, like a plain black cardigan. I only have one in my wardrobe and I don't like it. Um, it's kind of like an office wear style cardigan. I don't like it. I got it from Primark and I don't wear it. I needed one uh, when I was working. I'm now a PhD student, but before that, I needed like a plain black cardigan for the winter when I went into the office, and that did the trick at the time. But I don't wear it, and I don't like it, and I don't like how it feels. It's don't like it. It feels weird on my skin. So I just cast this on as an early birthday present to myself. Something that I wanted to. I was under the delusion that I could knit it for my birthday. I cast this on this week. Um, about yeah, 2 full weeks. I cast it on 2 full weeks until my birthday. And I thought, you know what, if I try hard enough, I could knit it because it's on 5mm needles. I could knit it. No, you can't. No, you can't. Stop being delusional. Um, but yeah, haven't made a great deal of progress. Made a few mistakes, but I feel like I overcame them. So yeah, I am looking forward to this. I just need to get other people's gift knits out of the way. Other things that I'm planning on knitting. So I'm planning on finishing my niece's yellow gloves in a few days. It won't take very long. I'm planning on finishing my nephew's socks for the end of the month. Um, what else do I think I could finish? I don't really know, to be honest. I need a new pair of gloves as well. I also need some leg warmers for myself. Um, maybe I'll be able to get them done by the end of February. I'm not entirely sure, but I do need um, some more winter accessories in rotation. Um, I have bought some more yarn because there was a sale on. There was a January sale on. I bought some yarn. Another cousin of mine has asked for a pair of socks, so I'm making it in drops Nord in the colorway Sweet Orchard, which is what she asked for. She is also a size 5, so I know that I can make a vanilla sock for myself in about 10 days, like a pair of socks in 10 days. So I know that I will probably be able to finish her pair of socks for around the end of February as well. Um, so yeah, in terms of the goals that I set for 2026, my knitting goals, um, I suppose this counts as one of my pairs of socks. I didn't exactly specify that it had to be for me, but that was the intention. But I guess I could weasel my way around it and say that I actually no, I won't do that. I will say 10 pairs of socks for myself. Socks for other people do not count towards that goal. No. So I do have some rainbow sock yarn that I want to cast on for myself. I originally intended that to be a project that I would be able to wear for my birthday as well. That did not go to plan. But I would like to cast it on nonetheless for February. February is LGBT History Month in the UK. In America, I know that it is currently Black History Month. Our Black History Month in the UK is October. and I believe that October in America is LGBT History Month, so it's like switched around. So two more pairs of socks that are on the list to at the very least cast on. Maybe possibly finish one pair by the end of the month. I also bought some yarn to make the micro shorts by Loopy Studios. They are wool. It's a wool and cotton. No, it's a wool. I can't remember if it's wool and cotton blend or if it's 100% wool. I feel like it's 100% wool. And then I was looking at the wool and cotton blend as another like shorts project. I'm not entirely sure. And I've lost it to the cave underneath my bed where I store all of my yarn. But yeah, it's in red and black. I don't know where I'm going to wear them. They're not for lounging about the studio. They are for going outside. Where I will wear them to, I do not know, but I really want to make them a pair of micro shorts in red and black, which I've got the yarn for. I've got the yarn for my cousin's Sweet Orchard socks, and then I bought some yarn to make my youngest niece a pair of leg warmers. In the last episode, episode knitting podcast that I made, I was making a pair of leg warmers for my niece. I was almost finished with them, I believe. Which is the same niece who's getting the yellow gloves. My youngest niece keeps stealing the leg warmers from her older sister. So I decided that I would just make her a pair so she stops stealing them, basically. To be fair, she has been asking for a pair of leg warmers. But I feel like she's only asking for a pair because her sister has them, and everything that her sister has, she also has to have. Like, it's not because she wants a pair of leg warmers, it's because she has FOMO. But yeah, so I mean, it won't take very long. She's only 5. She's very small. That's it won't take me very long. I just need to figure out how to make them in a way that she can still wear them as she gets older, because as I've already said, I prefer to make things that will last a very long time, and children grow quite quickly, so I would like to make a pair of leg warmers that she can still wear in probably like, and that would last her about 3 winters, 2 or 3 winters. The same with like my niece's yellow gloves. She has grown quite a bit, but I feel like she's slowing down now. So those gloves, because the body of it is adult sized, I'm able to rip back the gloves and then reknit it very fairly easily so that they last her a long time. However, her younger sister is only 5. She's still got a lot of growing left. So I'm just trying to figure out the construction of them, how to make them last for as long as possible. That being said, she also has a younger brother who is only 3, but he might not like the colors. It's green, pink, and white. Yeah, he might not like them. He might want a different color, or he might not wear them, like wear winter accessories at all. If he's that type of child who doesn't like going outside in a hat, scarf, and gloves, which, to be fair, he's not that big of a fan of winter accessories. But yeah, those are the plans for the immediate future. I obviously need to finish off quite a few projects. I have got the weekend off. I've had the weekend off rather. It's Sunday. So I've had time to just work on some crafts. I hemmed a pair of trousers that I kept putting off. I messed around with some scrap fabric, doing like hand stitches, sewing by hand, practicing different types of stitches by hand. Because I am a beginner hand sewist and I have some fabric behind my phone that I really want to make some spring and summer bottoms with. It's 100% cotton. One of them is Beetlejuice themed and the other is Van Gogh themed. And I've been like dreaming about making these bottoms for several months, and I finally bit the bullet. There was a sale on, I bought some fabric, and now I just need to build up the confidence to sew it by hand and make it look neat, basically. Um, but I will probably make a vlog about it. Doing it from start to finish. I have the patterns, I have the sewing patterns, they're ready to go. I just need possibly to get some gym projects out of the way before I invest my time in. Oh dear, I'm trapped. Invest my time in a too large sewing projects. Not terribly large because I am quite small, but yeah. And besides from that, I do have some more projects in mind. I really want to make some tank tops for the summer, but there's no rush to do that, obviously, because it's still freezing fucking cold. It's been raining non-stop. How disgusting. I reread Wuthering Heights. I read it. This is my third time reading Wuthering Heights, and the adverts for the new Wuthering Heights film with Margot Robbie has been shoved into my face at every chance the internet gets. I am not a fan. I do not think two Australians should be playing two people from the Yorkshire Moors. Like, why? Why? Also, I am in the party that does not like how Heathcliff has been whitewashed and how that is how the director saw Heathcliff as a white man. And then I saw this argument from someone on TikTok saying that the public is not ready to see a black, not the public is not ready to see a man of color abuse a white woman on screen. And that changed my perspective, um, because it is an abusive relationship. Heathcliff does not only abuse Catherine, he abuses Isabella, he abuses Earnshaw. He is Maleficent to his very core. And it is his description of his character is in relation to his skin color. He is likened to the devil. Blah blah. Anyway, I reread it. I fell in love again with Emily Bronte. I think she is a gothic princess. I love her to pieces. As you may be able to tell, I have a lot of books. If anyone is interested in hearing about what I read, I will gladly do that. I have just started as well. This is Practical Anarchism: A Guide for Daily Life by Scott Branson. I picked this up secondhand. I saw it and I just couldn't part the shop without it. Much needed. I am Also, in relation to this, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Side note, books and knitting. In relation to this book, Practical Anarchism, I have a pattern that I really want to make from this book, Protest Knits. Got Needles, Get Knitting. Who is the author? Geraldine Warner. I bought this book ages and ages and ages ago. And there is a sock pattern in here called the Shy Anarchist Socks. I have been wanting to make this for so long. This is also part of my goal of knitting 10 socks, preferably for myself, but we'll see how the year goes. If I may have to include socks for other people. This pair, what the fuck? These socks are on the list of things that I really want to make this year. Oh my goodness, I have been talking for far too long, and I need to sort out the mess that is behind the camera and possibly get some food and knit on my niece's gloves. But yeah, I hope you have enjoyed me rambling and talking about what I finished, what I am currently making, and plans for the near future. I do want to do like a knit and chat video where I just sit and talk about whatever it is that I wish to talk about. And yeah, if you got this far, thank you very much. And I hope you have a lovely February. I'm very grateful that I'm not in the south by the coast, where it always floods and the wind is absolutely terrible over there. Thankfully, my region doesn't really get flooding, really. Ooh. But yeah, without further ado, I shall get going. I wish you well. Goodbye.